Howdy, boys and girls. Since I'm in the middle of doing this to my own bike, I'm going to show you how to take some dingy old chrome and clean that stuff up with very, very minimal work. So ready? Here we go. This is going to do some good to those guys that have anything with chrome. So this may not necessarily pertain to motorcycles. Could be cars with nice chrome bumpers, could be bikes with all kinds of chrome parts, could be just stuff that you have laying around in your garage that has chrome on it. It's maybe got some bits of rust, small bits of rust, lots of oxidation. Now what I've got here is an exhaust tip for my Honda Shadow 1100, and it's got some rust pitting, as you can see. It's quite dirty. This particular one I may not end up using because it's got some pretty good scratches. The other one is in much better shape, so I figured I'd use this one just to clean it up and make a quick video for you guys. So here's basically how you can clean something like this up to almost new. The process for this is really super simple. There's two, maybe three parts that I'm really going to show you, and it requires a couple of basic things. One is going to be a rag. So you're going to first want to take this dirty, dingy old piece that's been sitting up in a closet or in an attic or somewhere in a garage. You're going to want to wipe it down. Let's wipe it down and get any dust and dirt off of the thing first. Now the second thing I'm going to use is going to be some 1500 grit wet dry sandpaper. You can use 2000 grit. I just don't happen to have any, and this will do the job just fine without scratching up your chrome as well. Anyway, so you're gonna go ahead and get this wet. You're gonna get this wet. Get it wet. Get wet. Good. Wet it down. Continuously keep getting this thing wet as you do this. Now, once it's wet, you've got a little bit of a little less resistance in it. You can go ahead and just start rubbing, and you can see that brown is rust. That's the end bits of any rust that you're picking up, and that's what you're wanting to go ahead and get off. Now, a nice swirling motion will allow it so that it doesn't give you any scrape marks in any one direction, which are really easy to see when you're doing all of that stuff. So you just lightly put some pressure. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on this, but just lightly put some pressure on it and go all the way around with your wet sandpaper. Now, certain stuff on this one I'm not going to be able to get out, obviously, because it's just too deep. But for the most part, I'm going to be able to clean this up pretty nicely. And I'll get along this edge real quick. And just hit that. And the next thing I'm going to do is take my rag, pour some water, and just rinse it off. Okay, got that. I'm just going to rinse that, clean that up. Now, as you can see, most of the surface rust is all but gone. So we pretty much did a pretty darn good job on that. But we do want to touch it up a little bit more. So we'll go ahead and take your favorite polish. This isn't my favorite, but it's the one that I have here. It's the one in the blue can. And just go ahead and polish it up. Again, with the circular movement, and get a good polish coat on there. And the longer you do this, the more it's going to polish and all of that stuff and buff out any other impurities and whatnot. Now, I'm doing a really super quick job of this. Mind you, I'm not really spending a lot of time. I've already done half of the exhaust that I'm probably going to use, and I'm going to go ahead and pull apart the other half of this one that I'm actually working on, because one part of it is nicer than the one that I'm using. And I'll end up doing this to the whole pipe, which has come out pretty nice already. Now you just take a dry edge of this rag, start buffing it off. Like I said, you're not going to have it perfect. Obviously, I'm not going to get some of these scratches out. That's going to take a miracle. But as far as any of that surface rust is concerned, and from a distance, if you have an old exhaust that's got some wear on it, or just some weather, it's been sitting out for a long time, maybe you're polishing up an old bike, fixing an old bike that's got some chrome on it, it's really not hard to take the surface rust off of most chrome. And I'd say that is pretty darn good compared to what we had originally. And with that, I hope that helps you guys do a little bit of cleanup on your bike and stuff like that, all that good stuff and stuff. So hit the subscribe button if you like what you saw, and hit the notifications button somewhere around up in here. If it depends on the app or if you're online or whatever. But again, thanks for watching, and I'll be back another time soon with another video. Right on. I'm out of here. Peace.